All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lesson 2 of Unit 2 of your theory course. We're talking about time signatures, and this is just a one-page lesson. Time signatures, I'm sure most, if not all of you, know what a time signature is, but we'll review it real quick just to make sure we have a complete, thorough understanding of how they work and what sense we can make of them. So, to start off, a time signature, as it says, appears at the start of a piece of music. And the top number tells us how many beats there are in a measure. So a time signature always looks like this, with two numbers, one on top of the other. The upper number tells us how many beats, how many pulses there are in each measure. So I've got a metronome here, I've got it set to 90 beats a minute, and you'll hear every fourth beat is a higher pitch than the other three. Have a listen. So in here you can hear 4 beats. Okay, the high pitch is we're going to call beat 1. So here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If the upper number of a time signature is a 4, that's exactly what it's going to sound like. Okay, maybe at a different speed, but there will be 4 pulses per bar. Right? Now going on to the bottom number. The bottom number tells us what kind of note that length is. So in 4/4 time, which is by far the most common, if a 4 is on the bottom, it means quarter notes. There are 4 quarter notes in each bar. The bottom number could be a 2. The bottom number could be an 8. Those are the 3 most common. It could represent any note value. So the bottom number could be 4 for a quarter note, 2 for a half note. It could be a 1 for a whole note. There could be 4 whole notes in a time signature. The bottom number could be any even number of 1, 2, 4, 8, or 16 even. Those are the most common, certainly, right? So anyway, 4/4 means that there are 4 quarter note beats in a measure. 4/4 can also be called common time and written as a C. 4/4 time, as I said before, is the most common. Whenever you hear a pulse like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, or even at a faster speed, it doesn't really make a big difference. Okay, there's so much pop music, rock music that's written in 4/4 time. Okay, you 4-beat groupings. All right. So moving on, we'll do a few of these together, and then I'll set you loose to finish the worksheet on your own. 3/4 time means that there are. Now, you need to fill in the blanks here, of course. In 3/4 time, it means there are how many of what kind of beat. All right? So the upper number, remember, tells you how many beats there are, and the bottom number tells you what kind of beat. So there are this many of this type of beats in a measure. So the answer here, of course, means there are 3 quarter note beats in a measure. Right? The next one, just slightly different. It means there are this many of this type of beats in a measure. All right, so in this case, there are 2 quarter note beats per bar or per measure. The next exercise, fill each of these measures with quarter notes. So if you can see, in here you need 2 quarter notes worth of time, so you're going to put 2 quarter notes there. You need 3 quarter notes worth of time, and then of course you need 4 quarter notes worth of time. You're just going to draw the correct number of quarter notes. You can do that on your own. And then a bit of investigation here. Circle the incorrect measure below. Here you have to determine, well, first of all, you're going to look at the time signature. We need 3 beats in a bar. Now you look at the bar itself. Do we have 3 beats here? Well, to easily figure that out, let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, to circle the incorrect measure below, does this bar have the correct number of beats? Well, you can do a little bit of investigation. 1/8 note, that gets half a beat. That 1/8 note gets half a beat. That 1/8 note gets half a beat. That 1/8 note gets half a beat, and that gets 1 beat. Right? So add them up. Half plus half plus half plus half plus 1. That equals 3. So it agrees. Right? We do have the correct number of beats in this bar, and it agrees with the time signature. So that one's good. That is not the incorrect measure. Do the same thing with the other ones. Okay? You know that when you have 2 1/8 notes beside each other that are beamed, that creates 1 beat. So you can do it like this, do the math this way, write the number of beats underneath, or sometimes what I like to do is circle. There's beat 1. There's a second full beat. There's another full beat. And there's another full beat. So do we have 4 beats in this bar? Yes, we do. It agrees with the time signature. You can carry on, okay? All right, so moving on. Draw one appropriate note, either a quarter note, half note, or whole note, to complete each one of these measures. All right, so more just investigation stuff. You are given a time signature. You are given some music. So determine how many beats that you are given and put one note value. A single one, okay? One appropriate note. Note value here to complete the bar. If in 3/4 time you need 3 quarter notes per bar, you are given 1. How many more do you need? Draw that note value. Here you need 2/4 time, you're given 1 beat, draw the note value to complete the bar. And then here, same idea, just still counting beats, just from a slightly different angle. Add bar lines to complete each of these rhythms. You have a time signature and you have a whole big long string of rhythms. All you need to do is find the right spot where to put your bar lines. And of course, in this exercise at the end, you're going to put a double bar line, right? Because it's the end of each little exercise. Okay, but inside, of course, you're going to determine where you're going to put these bar lines. So, finish up this worksheet. We'll take it up in class. Hopefully it makes sense, and if it doesn't, please, of course, feel free to ask any questions before we take this up in class, all right? Take care. See you in the next lesson.